was about 18 years old when this happened. There was a local Chuck E. Cheese restaurant close to our house. I thought I was the luckiest guy on the planet because I could take a 7-minute walk there if I was bored or too lazy to cook at home. But I especially wanted to stop by Chuck E. Cheese during the summer season since it was the local hotspot where every teenager would have fun at since nothing else was around. The problem was that, in the summer, Chuck E. Cheese was packed. I couldn't find a place to sit, and even when my meal was to go, I still had to wait in a long line. But of course, this is when Chuck E. Cheese and Five Nights at Freddy were still at the top of their game, so many people went there to eat. Some people played in the ball pit area, while others like me went to the arcade section. It was common for me to eat some Chuck E. Cheese pizza before playing numerous games, and those were some of the most memorable days of my life. I especially enjoyed playing the Street Fighter arcade game, but on one particular night, something very strange happened. I went to the washroom to take a dump after having so much pizza. Then, from the corner of my eyes, I saw this troubling figure by the sink. He was some kind of creep who made these gurgling sounds as he twitched like a psycho. He looked like a crackhead zombie in his 40s, but whatever he was on made him look even older. The man was eerily staring at me the whole time, looking at me from head to toe like he wanted to eat me. Then, when I couldn't take it anymore, I said,
"Hey sir, is everything okay?"
But the bizarre man didn't answer. Instead, he made me feel more uncomfortable as he twitched and made weird noises. At this point, I wished someone else would also enter the washroom to break the awkward silence, but oddly, no one else came through that door. Eventually, I decided to use one of the cubicles and stay there until the creep left, but unfortunately, it was a small washroom with only 2 toilet stalls, so there was little to create a gap between us, being the only 2 people there at the time. Without delaying any longer, I slammed the door and went for it. However, just as I used one of the stalls, the creep entered the vacant one next to mine. It sounded like the man was snickering, snorting, and acting weird. I tried to ignore him since he wasn't doing anything wrong, thinking I'd be leaving the washroom as soon as I was finished. However, as I kept going, the creep started to relentlessly bang on the wall, dividing us like a psycho. I could feel my heart pound out of my chest as he then yelled,
"What the hell is that smell?"
I was confused and terrified as I unloaded tons of crap. My mind forced me to hurry up and just get the hell out of there. I was sweating like crazy, remaining on edge as the creep repeatedly smashed his fist on the wall. Moments later, I began hyperventilating, wishing for the first time that I didn't have too much of that pizza. Better yet, I should have ordered it to go and enjoyed my meal at home in peace. But it was too late for that. There was a minimal chance of escaping, and I was too anxious to think of another way out. Then, suddenly, the banging stopped, and before I could do anything about it, the door to my stall opened wide. That's when the strange man came inside and grabbed me by my collar, yanking me into the air and tossing me outside the stall. With my pants down, I struggled to get up, not expecting this situation to be more intense and life-threatening. So, at the time, I was convinced this man was here to harm me. As the creep slowly approached me, I could see his eyes still twitching and his head tilted to the side as he smiled an ominous grin. I pulled my pants up as fast as I could and started limping towards the exit. From the corner of my eye, I could see the creep reach into his pocket while undermining my ability to escape. I didn't want to wait long enough to find out what he was pulling out, and so I ran toward the door. But as I glanced behind me, I saw the creep running toward me with a screwdriver in one hand. I immediately opened the door and slammed it shut while simultaneously hollering like a crazy, saying,
"Help! Someone's trying to kill me! Someone help me!"
All the customers in line panicked and ran for the exit door, screaming at the top of their lungs. Parents were grabbing their children from the ball pit area and leaving. People dining in had no choice but to leave their meals behind and prioritize survival. All that noise alerted the staff, pushing them to surround the washroom and subdue the creep just in case he exited the washroom. The customers that remained in the venue shielded themselves with chairs, while others stood behind the tables dialing for 911. The tension in the room was chaotic as there was no sign of the man exiting the washroom anytime soon. Moments later, the cops arrived, eventually kicking the door down and arresting the man. Luckily, no one was injured and the man was safely transported to the police vehicle as his eyes were still fixed on me. It was later revealed in the local news that the lunatic was an addict who thought of doing his mess in the Chuck E. Cheese washroom, and unfortunately, I got caught up in all of that mess. After that, I never saw Chuck E. Cheese the same ever again. The next time I had anything from Chuck E. Cheese, it would come from an online delivery service. However, there was now that part of me who was always anxious, looking through the window, hoping the delivery guy would not be that creep I met at Chuck E. Cheese. This story was inspired by a true incident that happened at a Chuck E. Cheese located in Orange County, California. A few customers started complaining to the staff on how the restaurant began having a strong, unpleasant odor coming from the men's washroom. Police were then called, and it was later revealed that 2 of the men were occupying one of the bathroom stalls while getting under the influence using undisclosed substances. They were then arrested and sentenced accordingly.
What's up, man? Hey, are you still coming to Chuck E. Cheese? Bro, are you still really trying to go there? That's a little weird for our age, don't you think? Shut up, man. It's the only place with an arcade that's close by. I don't have a car yet, remember? Just ask for a ride somewhere else next time before you walk all the way to Chuck E. Cheese. The only people who like going there are babies and creeps, so which one are you? Get off my case, bro. I'll buy you half a pizza if you just come through. Now you're speaking my language. I'll be over as soon as I finish destroying my meat to your mom's only. What a prick. Man, this place is dead. Kinda sad, honestly. This place is almost as creepy without anyone. Well, at least I get the whole place to myself. Now, where's that coin machine? Oh, there it is. Awesome. Looks like a good amount. Let's see. What should I play first? Mortal Kombat? No, that's a 2-player game, really. I should wait on Kyle for that one. House of the Dead? Maybe. I don't remember liking that one. Oh, Pac-Man. That's fun, I think. Here goes nothing. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a walk in the park. Come on, Pac-Man. Oh yeah, come on. Bring it on. You ghosts got nothing on me. 25 years with no girlfriend can do that to ya. Man, this is a lot easier than I remember. I can't believe I ever thought this was hard. Oh crap, am I gonna be the only one in this joint? Whatever. I guess I don't have to wait to use anything. Holy crap. It's Chucky. I guess it's just me and him left in this place. Why is he looking at... never mind. He's just doing his job. Just minding my business playing Pac-Man. Oh, man, come on. I'm on my way. It's about damn time. Alright, let's have another go at this. Don't look away. Just play the game. I got this. It's fine. I'm just playing Pac-Man. What am I so scared of anyway? It's just some loser in a rat suit making minimum wage. All I need to do is focus on the game. It's only... Ah! Jesus Christ! What the hell is your problem? You can keep my tickets, okay, bud? Wow, there's a good game. I think I'm feeling some good old-fashioned pinball. This ought to be... Ah! What are you doing sneaking up on me like that? Well, I wanted to tell you about a special offer for our arcade lovers. How would you like to go backstage and play a game we haven't even put out on the floor yet? I don't know. It would make all your friends jealous. Sure, dude. Just show me after I take a leak, okay? That's a spirit. Why did I have to agree to this crap? I should have just kept my mouth shut. Dude, get out of here! Can you give me some privacy? Please stop looking at me! I'll get out as soon as I'm finished, alright? Hurry the hell up! I don't have all day! Okay, I'm coming! Follow me! Man, what am I doing? This is a bad idea, isn't it? There's definitely some kind of weird trap wherever he's leading me. Although, how bad could it be? Nothing bad ever happens in a Chuck E. Cheese, right? After you. Thanks. Where's the game, sir? You're in the game now. What? That's right. And you'll never leave. Ah! Get away from me! Oh crap. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Yes! Run for me! Scream for me! Make it fun for me! What the hell is this? I see you found my friends! It won't be long before you're one of them! I just have to find those damn keys! Someone help me! There's no way out! What the hell? None of you are real! None of you are real! None of you are real! Open the door! Open the door! Let me in! Dude, what's going on? I'll explain later! Just go! Now!
A horrible discovery has been made at a local Chuck E. Cheese franchise, leading to the arrest of a man, 50, who was hired to be the beloved Chuck E. Cheese mascot. Police have found multiple victims left to rot inside the store, which happened to be stuffed into the spare mascot suits used by the alleged perpetrator.
This story was inspired by an urban legend where 5 individuals allegedly disappeared at a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. The animation portrays a dramatized version of the alleged occurrence. There have been a few articles denying such allegations, but we'll let you be the judge.
I once found myself at Chuck E. Cheese a long time ago as a teenager. I didn't have any friends to hang out with, and I couldn't afford a lot of expensive video games, so I had to find different ways of entertaining myself. Honestly, I didn't expect to get much enjoyment out of the arcade games at Chuck E. Cheese. I was never really big on that old clunky style, plus I knew they would be surrounded by a bunch of annoying snotty brats. I still gave it a try though, and it's safe to say I regret that decision. I walked in on one of the nastiest, most depressing business establishments I've seen to date. Half the lights were out, and the ones that were left were flickering like crazy. There was a dusty draft going through the whole place, and the low ceilings made it feel like I stepped into a cave. I was genuinely shocked to see that there were actually customers patronizing this business, but upon a second glance, it was obvious that this was the only sort of place these families could afford to take their kids out on a Friday night. Most of them were as grimy and downtrodden as their surroundings. The front of the house people were not any different. They were soulless and could be seen arguing with the customers over their dissatisfaction, but it was worse than that. From where I was in the arcade, I could could see a bit into the kitchen, and let's just say, I shuddered when I saw the cook that was preparing all the food. Clearly, nobody who worked there cared about their job in the slightest, and the janitor was no exception, with how filthy the place was. A reasonable person would expect the janitor to have a lot of work to do, but this guy was just sitting around like everything was fine and clean, barely putting in the effort to pretend like he was doing something at best. All he did was push around a dirty mop bucket and stare at everyone. Of course, me being taller than everyone else in the arcade by about 2 feet, I caught his eye pretty quickly, but for a while, he didn't do anything. He just watched me blow all my money on stupid games. When I was all out of coins, I was about to cut my losses and leave. However, as I was walking to the exit, I could feel someone running towards me. It was that creepy janitor. He went face to face with me saying,
"You don't look like you're having a lot of fun. Is that true?"
I guess that's why I'm leaving. Either way, I'm all out of money to spend.
I'm not trying to make you spend any more of your hard-earned cash. I just want to help you out.
What do you mean?
You see that ball pit over there?
Yeah? What about it?
Ever been in one of those before?
No, actually. I thought it was closed.
That's the thing. All the ball pits in every Chuck E. Cheese across the country are closed due to sanitary concerns. Just 'cause one dumb little brat pissed himself in it and made some girl have an episode. That ball pit is fine now. Actually, now that nobody's allowed in it anymore, it's cleaner than it's ever been.
But wouldn't I or you get in trouble if I go in there?
Look around. Do you think anybody cares? The parents only want their kids to follow the rules, but you're here by yourself, aren't you? And just 'cause you're tall, you've gotta miss out on real fun? Come on. Get in there. I'm sure you used to playing with balls.
Okay, sir.
That janitor was good enough with his words to convince me not to leave just yet, and to ignore the do not enter signs all over the ball pit and jump in. I had to lie flat to pretend to be submerged enough to sort of swim around. I guess it was a little underwhelming, extremely awkward too, being the only person in the whole place breaking the rules by going in the ball pit, but especially because the janitor didn't say anything once I got in. He just stared at me with a twisted grin stuck on his face. I stopped playing around and looked back at him, wondering why he was going back to being a total creep all of a sudden. But all he did was laugh. He laughed so hard that he had to distract himself and started actually mopping out of nowhere, giggling like the Joker the whole time. The flash of amusement was already gone once again, so I decided to get up. But when I lifted my hands out of the pit, I was shocked because my hands were covered in blood. I freaked out and jumped to my feet, only to find out that all my clothes were soaked in blood too. I screamed, leaping out of the pit and bolted for the door. On my way out, I heard the janitor cover his own behind saying,
"I told you not to go in there, you little punk!"
I didn't look back. I bet everyone on the street thought I was running from a crime scene. I didn't stop until I got home. I tried to maneuver my way inside as calmly as possible. I didn't tell my mom anything. I didn't tell anyone anything. I snuck into my room to change clothes and wash the blood off of me. Then I threw away the ruined clothes and blocked the whole thing from my memory. I never realized what happened that day until months later. There was a story on the local news about a janitor from the struggling Chuck E. Cheese who was being charged with a bunch of crimes. I immediately recognized the picture as the janitor I spoke to. It turns out that he was some kind of deranged psycho who got his kicks by collecting all the dead rats he found on the job and intentionally threw them in the ball pit just to lure unsuspecting victims into crawling around with the corpses. This story was inspired by a real-life incident that happened at a Stockton Chuck E. Cheese. A young male customer was playing in the ball pit area when he discovered a dead mouse inside it. A picture was then taken by the victim's guardians, who later confronted the manager, but denied any claims that it was a mouse and alluded to it being a wadded-up piece of paper. The victim has since rebutted, saying, "I know what napkins look like, and napkins don't have ears, tails, and feet." The family has since avoided going to Chuck E. Cheese due to the trauma that night.